PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of Thinking into Results is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
I guess you can be very successful without one, and probably some people do. But I would not have accomplished anywhere near what I have accomplished without a mentor. I have had a number of mentors, and my whole life has changed dramatically. I went from going nowhere to having a business that operates all over the world. If you want to win in a big way, you want to get a mentor. It's almost like getting a direct pipeline from their mind to your mind, where you're gaining all their wisdom, all their experience, and all the studying that they've done over a number of years. And like that, you get it all in a short period of time. Are mentors important? Well, I'm going to tell you, mentors literally changed the course of my life. Let's take a look at what Thinking into Results is and what it could do for you, how it came about. You see, my life had changed dramatically. I went from earning nothing to earning over $1 million a year. And I was sitting one day and I was thinking, how did all this happen? Do you know, I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I was studying Earl Nightingale's material. But a lot of people have read those books and studied Earl's material. And they weren't accomplishing what I was accomplishing. So I had to ask myself, what am I doing so different? You see, I had been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you've got to be really smart. I was earning over $1 million a year, and I didn't think I was that bright. I was also raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't win. Well, I hadn't gone to school. I went to high school for about 2 months. I didn't have a good job. I owned the entire company. If you want to be happy, healthy, and prosperous, it's all here. Thinking into Results is going to show you how to get it. If what I've said really triggered something in your mind and you're thinking maybe, contact the certified PGI consultant, hit the button, leave the information, do yourself a favor, sit down and talk to them about what this program can do for you. This very well could be the decision that will change the rest of your life.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome to Thinking in Results, your Wednesday 1 o'clock podcast. We're sponsored by S&J Mentoring, where if you tell us what you want, we can show you how to get it. Today's program is Reboot Your Supercomputer. And to back up a moment, I'm Sid Maestri. I'm a certified consultant with the Thinking in Results program. And we've got a great show for you today. My sidekick, best friend, partner is John Gage. John, you're on.
Well, thank you, Sid. Appreciate it. And welcome everybody to Thinking into Results. You know, and I just want to say one thing. Everything that we talk about here is based on two things: Thinking into Result program and this little book here, Think and Grow Rich. This is a book that Sid and I read pretty religiously. I think I've read this 55 times now, close to it. So, you know, and the programs that we're going over now are part of that. They've just kind of renamed them a little bit because this was change your beliefs and how you think to reprogramming your supercomputer, because we really do have probably the best and most efficient supercomputer on the planet, and that's right in here. And you can change your beliefs. You have to work at it, though. You really do. Would you agree, Sid? Changing changing how you think isn't easy, but it can be done as a process.
Exactly. We call our program Thinking and Results because basically you have to change your thinking to get different results than you're getting right now.
Correct. Yes.
And that's part of our program. You get Bob as your mentor with this program. And we're going to teach you how to change your thoughts, change your thinking, teach you to think what you want to think.
And one of the mistakes we make as human beings is thinking that belief is hope. Would you agree? Because it's really not hope. It's a state of mind. It's where your mind sits. It's where you put your brain intentionally every day. And it has to be done every day. It's like exercise. Probably one of these days I'll be able to exercise. I know we've talked about some of my issues, but one of these days, and that's one of my goals. And I have to change my belief from I'm going to have all these issues walking for the rest of my life to no, that isn't going to happen. And it takes effort, because I remember getting out of the hospital after spending 2 months in the hospital, and my beautiful wife, it was my wife at the time, and she didn't know how bad it was. And when they got out of the hospital, they told me I'd be on oxygen for the rest of my life, air quotes, and it would be 9 liters of oxygen, which if you're in the medical field, that's a lot. And I was like, she says, I'm coming to see you in 2 months. We've been talking for 2 years by that time. We'd never seen each other except on Zoom. And we've never held hands. We've never kissed. And I'm like, oh, great. She's coming to see me, and I'm going to have hose sticking out of my nose. So I said, no, that's not acceptable. And the doctor says, well, you're going to have no choice. And I'm like, you're wrong. And if I would have stuck with his belief, I'd still be on oxygen today. But I stuck with my belief and changed my state of mind from, poor me, look at the situation I'm in, to how do I fix this? How do I change it? And that's really what reprogramming yourself is. You have to go, no, this has got to be different. You have to have a desire. You have to cultivate that desire. Well, my desire was, guess what? To see this beautiful woman in real life. And you know what? Even though we met, we didn't kiss until I moved to Florida. And it was worth it. It was worth the wait. And I had to tell myself every day, you're going to get off the oxygen. You're going to get off the oxygen. You're going to, and my reward at the end is going to be, I get to meet this beautiful person that I've fallen in love with over a couple of years, but never met or touched. It was strange, but yeah. And then I'm like, okay, what's it going to be like so I'm visualizing, what's it going to be like not to have this thing on my nose 24 hours a day, keeping my oxygen saturation at 97%. Well, I tell you what, it's pretty cool not having that there. And I was just persistent. I found, and because I was willing to change my belief system and change what I was thinking, it allowed me to discover ways to improve that. So I cultivated, it's kind of like cultivating a garden, right? I know that Sid and I talked about this yesterday, and I know you have a garden story or something you wanted to talk about and share how cultivating and keeping the weeds out, because you have to keep the weeds out. Let's.
Yeah, you've given me 2 thoughts.
Oh no.
I want to go back to your story.
But that's dangerous. When I give you 2 thoughts, it's like, okay.
we're in trouble.
We have 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I've got three thoughts. Number one is, folks,
Okay.
we're in Las Vegas.
You're in
So
Las
John's
Vegas,
in
yeah.
Las Vegas, 2 years talking to Liz,
Yeah.
the love of his life.
This is true.
Before they met. The second thing I wanted, before we get to the garden, I'm listening to your explanation of John had an idea and hoped that he would be able to be off oxygen. And he developed a plan. He knew what he had to do. So now, once he had the plan, he had faith that he could accomplish it. In fact, that faith
Right.
was occurred.
Right.
What he wanted to do and creating that desire with faith that he could do it, and then creating the plan. We will get back to explaining more of writing out your goal. But John mentioned our garden.
Yes.
That's your garden is your subconscious mind. Our conscious mind, our intellect, is dealing with everything in the outside world. The five senses that are bringing all this information into your conscious mind. If you're not paying attention to anything that's coming in, it's going into your subconscious, and the subconscious accepts everything as real. You have to consciously not follow through on those negative thoughts and put positive thoughts in place of them. And it's like a garden. You prepare your garden, you prepared the ground, you're going to plant your flowers, your seeds, whatever you're planting, then you're going to water.
Yeah, exactly. And
you're
going to adding the right fertilizer.
Mm-hmm. And to take care of it, you're going to be plucking, you're going to be weeding it. You're consciously, if you're not paying attention, weeds will grow. We all know that. So you have to pay attention to your garden and picture your mind, your subconscious mind is your garden. And you want to keep out the negative thoughts.
Right.
So I'll throw this back to you, John.
And on that thought, I went through a lot of steps. I went through like 5 different steps, which is kind of along the lines of 6 steps, but we're talking about chapter 12 in chapter 12 or chapter 13. Chapter 13 in Think and Grow Rich, which is about your subconscious mind and reprogramming. There's a lot of books out there too, the other books that talk about that, like Atomic Habits and how you can change your subconscious. But mainly we're really sticking with Thinking and Growing Rich because this is a proven model that works really well. And first off is you have to realize that your belief isn't hope. It's you're changing this. You got to change your state of mind, and then it requires a burning desire, which we talked about. Auto-suggestion. That's I've put my auto-suggestion on my iPad now. So a little iPad here. If I can find a little button to turn it on, and because I got this neat little pen that goes with it. I can handwrite my auto suggestion out so that I can read this every day. And I chose the color blue because blue has a retention value to it. And it helps me visualize, but sometimes I have trouble visualizing. Remember, we talked yesterday about utilizing AI to create a picture. If you're having trouble creating a picture that gives you an emotional feeling about your belief in your your desires and that kind of thing, sometimes it helps. That's what a vision board is for. People have talked about vision boards. So I've taken a couple of AI pictures of how I physically want to look. And, I look pretty good, let's say. And it gives me an emotional feeling when I read it because I can really vividly see what I'm looking at. because sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to come up with that vision. And the persistence, so that's the auto-suggestion and visualizing that you're already there. That's what the AI is for. And it has to be with an emotion. And we'll talk about emotions here shortly. I see we got about 15 minutes left, but we'll talk about emotions here because emotions are important to changing your programming. And then you just be persistent. So I know there are 6 steps, and these are 5 steps, but there's an actual set of 6 steps that is required. I'm going to let Sid go ahead and read those, and then I'm going to read a little thing about persistence here. And then I want to talk about our positive and negative emotions for a little bit, because we're going to get close here. So go ahead and read those out loud, Sid.
What we call it, the 6 steps.
Yes.
This is the foundation that's taught in Think and Grow Rich, which we're teaching in Thinking and Results.
Correct. Yes.
Number 1 is you have to know what you want. Number 2, you want to know when you want it. Number 3, what product or service are you going to be selling or presenting? That's what you're going to give to receive the money that you want. Number 4 is writing a plan. And the plan is where you are right now, where you're standing right now. Because we know plans change and you're doing research, but whatever plan you have to start with, we know it's going to change. Number 5 is you put this all together, what you want, when you want it, what you're going to give for it, what your plan is, put it into a statement, paragraph. And here's the key thing. You're going to read this in front of the mirror, once in the morning, once at night, with passion, emotions. And I like to say, with passion and unbridled enthusiasm, which is one of my favorite expressions. I can't say unbridled enthusiasm without smiling. I always picture a young colt racing across a meadow. But that's where you're getting the repetition. And the more you do that, the picture gets clearer. And just to make a comment, I know that you like, John, we think in pictures.
We do.
I have to confess, I grew up and I didn't know you thought in pictures. I thought
you didn't know me when you were growing up, so you're right. Sorry.
So thinking in pictures, and John mentioned that we can use AI to expand the picture. And I believe, or I could say we believe, that the repetition of reading your statement, your goal statement twice a day, the picture gets more clear. And also the last comment I'll make for right now, John, is in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book, it interviewed 500 very successful people in all areas of life. And to write the book, what are the common success principles? No one had all 12 of them, but they all had one thing in common. They thought about what they wanted all day long.
And they became what they thought about.
Yes, they became what they thought about all day long. And I'm thinking, well, they're working during the day. And then I realized, yes, they're thinking about it when they're actually working, but their subconscious, their mind is working. When they go to sleep at night, the subconscious is working, and they'll wake up with new ideas. And the picture gets clearer and clearer. So with that, I'm back.
And that happens with persistence. Like you said, I got this thing on persistence. I'm gonna read here, but persistence, what that does is it reprograms your subconscious, so your subconscious is thinking these thoughts without you having to consciously force them to do that. And you have to allow your mind to be open for this and understand things that are coming in. So persistence, this is actually really good, and it's by Calvin Coolidge. So persistence, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius, that's my forte, will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. I don't know if I said that right. It doesn't really matter.
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent, that's the word. See, that's why I keep sitting around, because he can pronounce words. Omnipotent. Calvin Coolidge, 1872 to 1933. And persistence in reprogramming has to be very consistent with emotion. And you're going to have negative emotion on one side, positive emotion on the other. And in Think and Grow Rich, he identified 7 major positive and 7 major negative. Understand, I know there's more emotions than this, and people can name more emotions, but these are the ones that we're focused on in the book, and they do have a lot to do with how you change your thinking. And for the positive side, it's desire, faith, love, sex, and I know guys out there that agree with that one, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. These are all positive emotions, and I'm doing this motion here because I'm trying to mimic a helix. So a helix is like your DNA, and this helix, whatever emotion you're putting into this helix is going to attract. So if you're consciously putting positive emotion in it, what you're going to attract. Negative emotion, you don't have to work near as hard to get that helix with these, are fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. And these are all, I know that they all may have a little different meaning to everybody, but ultimately, the way you change your belief is positive and negative emotions. They're unable to occupy the mind at the same time. But if you're not constantly weeding your subconscious garden of a negative emotion, the negative emotion takes a lot less work to appear. Where positive emotion has to be cultured and has to be intentionally placed there. And you have to wake up with intent. Every morning I get up and I say, I will be positive. I will find the positive in everything. One of the first things I say. Why? Because I know if I don't, I will find negative in something. And I find myself a lot getting frustrated and irritated with things that are happening. And I have to stop myself and say, okay, where's the positive in this? Because I want to keep a positive mindset about everything I do. And sometimes it's difficult. It gets frustrating. But if you cultivate that mindset, you can change your beliefs about what you can do and can't do, because this is what it really is beliefs about what you can do. What you're able to do is totally what you believe. I like to say this a lot, and it says that, but if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. Either way, you're correct. Which way do you choose to believe? Do you choose to believe on the positive side of this? Because positivity can make your life absolutely wonderful. All you're attracting is positive things. Hey, let's bring it on. Let's bring the positive home. But if you're attracting negative things, we've seen what happens with that. We've seen what happens with governments, and I'm not going to talk about our government specifically, but I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to get into too much politics, but this has been going on for years. Julius Caesar, and I did some research, so I know this is correct. As a matter of fact, I'll pull it up and I'll read it directly. But he used two negative emotions to specifically control the people. One of them was with military control, and it says Caesar's military forces were essential to his control. They were loyal to him personally rather than the Roman Republic, a new dynamic that allowed him to seize and maintain power. His soldiers were devoted to him because he was a successful general who ensured they were well paid and rewarded for their services with land, which was very, very valuable back then. So this was a greed thing, but he kept the loyalty, and he eventually became a dictator because he had their loyalty. And the way he controlled the crowds, public displays of generosity. He regularly hosted lavish banquets and gladiatorial games for the public. This practice, known as bread in circuses, in later Roman history, was a way to win over the masses by providing them with food and entertainment, distracting them from political issues and fostering a sense of gratitude towards him. So he would literally use fear and greed, both negative emotions, to maintain control because they're powerful and they're easy to use and easy for people to cultivate. And when you're cultivating that from early, that's what you get. We're getting close to close. Sid, do you have any closing comments before I close out the podcast?
I want to say yes, and I had it up to 2 seconds ago what I wanted to add. Oh, now I remember. We're talking about the negative thoughts. We've been talking about the negative thoughts, the input that's coming in that we don't want to come in.
Yes.
But what we're dealing with, where you are right now, we talk about your paradigm, and that's a collection of habitual habits of what you do and what you think, and taking a look at in your life what's not working, and you have to change your thought on it, and that's where you're teaching through repetition. I want to say to replace that negative thought, that negative behavior.
So, cultivating like a garden.
Yes. My last comment is, when you're replacing a negative behavior and doing it differently, it doesn't eliminate that negative thought or behavior. It just reduces it because it's always there. So that's why it's a constant thing of paying attention to your
right,
thinking.
and that's why you have to get up and you have to work at it, and you have to kind of make sure that your life is staying positive. And yes, I'm doing this because I'm picturing the helix in my mind of our DNA. If we turn our DNA into a positive DNA, that's what we're going to attract. We're going to attract people to us that are positive, and we're going to be attracted. And we're going to be attracted to people who are positive. So, and it's getting close to time here, so I just want to thank you guys for sharing your time with us. If you do wish to learn how to obtain your goals, please visit our website at sj-mentoring.com. That's sj-mentoring.com, and fill out our contact request form that's on there. What this does is it allows you to receive a free discovery session. It's a $250 value. And what this does is where we learn about your unique goals and the things that you want to accomplish, and that'll allow us to show you how to accomplish them. So all we ask, you give us a chance, hop onto our website there, fill that contact form out. We'll be getting in contact with you and set that session up. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel. It helps us help things grow. And please join us next week for step 12. Listen. Listen. Your gut is rarely wrong.
Thank you, John.
Visit snjmentoring.com so we can show you how to accomplish your dreams. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, John.
Did you know your clothing could help balance your body's pH levels? Our cutting-edge fabric technology naturally promotes optimal pH balance, helping you feel energized, refreshed, and at your best every day. Use promo code PRTalk for more info. Tap the link in the description or contact our experts at 702-445-9488 to learn more.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.